No problem.
Okay, we're ready to go.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? Good to see all of you. Hope you're having a blast so far. I'm actually going to switch over to my lapel mic because I can hear my voice coming through your TV.
Oh, gosh.
Which is, I'm sure you guys know everyone loves to hear their own voice, right? So give me 2 seconds here. I'm just going to switch out to my lapel. And there we go. Uh-oh, I dropped it. Can you guys hear me? Yay? Nay? I need you to wave because I can't hear you. Okay, perfect. Sorry. I have to go Charlene style and rock out a lapel mic this morning because I can literally hear my voice coming out of your TV and then back into the computer. And so it's like my echo. I had to do this for Carly last weekend too. It's crazy annoying hearing your own voice, which sucks because now I can't hear any of you. But I can see you, so you have to give me lots of face energy, okay? Just like on a Zoom call, like when we're on team calls, we have to mute everyone, right? Because everyone's got kids going crazy in the background, or maybe your husband's watching a ball game, or maybe you're watching a ball game, or like one Sunday night I had someone on one of my calls also watching The Walking Dead. So having to compete with The Walking Dead to try to keep her attention. I don't know if I did or not. So anyways, thank you guys all so much for allowing me to speak to you this morning. Thank you, Micah, for allowing me to speak to your team. I hope you guys are having a great time. Today I want to talk to you. How many of you, first of all, were on the team call that I did a few weeks ago for Micah? Raise your hand. Wow, we really do have a lot of leaders in the room, don't we? Because you were all on the team call. Look at you guys. You're awesome. So today I want to talk to you about 10Xing your life. Has anyone ever heard of the 10X rule? Anybody? Okay, we got a couple people have heard. The 10X Rule is a book by Grant Cardone. This book has changed my life. So for those of you that don't know, you should know if you were on the team call. I'm on the John Maxwell team. So obviously John Maxwell has changed my life pretty much more than any other human being that is living on the planet today. But next to him has been this book by Grant Cardone called the 10X Rule. And the 10X Rule, I'm going to give you a little summary of it, and I'm going to go into some key points that I want to share with you this morning that I know will be huge for your business. How many of you want to grow your business this year? Anybody? How many of you want to make more money? Anybody? How many of you want to help more people? Anybody? Okay, good. Then I'm talking to the right crowd here for the 10X Rule. So the 10X Rule basically says this, that we as humans are pretty much incapable of determining how much action it will take to reach a goal. How many of you have goals that you're trying to hit by summit? Everybody? Yeah, you know, I've actually got a date wrote right here on my calendar next to me. According to my calendar, you have until May 18th to enter into qualification for those goals. Am I right? I hope I'm right, because if not, my clients are screwed. That's the date that I have wrote down. So that means it's coming up pretty quick, right? How many of you set goals in January and you were like, by summit, this is going to happen, and right now you're sitting and staring at the goal and you're kind of like, I don't know if that's gonna happen. That happen, anybody? Or maybe last year you had some really big goals. Maybe some of you had goals last year to go elite by the end of the year. Last year on October, I should remember the day, because I swear there was like a week in October where every single call I had with someone was like, Josh, I need to hit elite this year. And I'm going, I just started working with Beachbody coaches last year, so I didn't know the whole business or everything about the business. I'm going, what does that really mean? I'm going, well, basically I have to be 5-star. I have to have all these points. And I'm talking to someone who is currently a 2-star, and they're telling me that we've got 1 month to help them go 5-star. I'm like, this would have been really cool to hear about like 3 months ago, right? October is not the time to start talking about going elite. For those of you that have gone elite or tried to go elite, hopefully you know that, right? But here's what happens, guys, is we as humans, we set goals usually in January, right? We all love to set goals in January. It's like it's like Christmas for anyone who's in the health industry, right? January, we're going to set new goals. And what happens is when we set those goals, usually we set these really, really incredible goals. We're going to talk a little bit more about goals in a second. I'm actually kind of getting ahead of myself, but we make these huge goals, and then we go back to normal life. And we do normal things like we would have if we didn't have goals. We have normal conversations. We have normal power hours. We have normal mentoring processes with our coaches. And then we wonder why we're not reaching our goals. What's funny about this is, as health and fitness coaches, you have probably watched people over and over and over that said, I want to lose 50 pounds. And then they didn't even show up to the challenge group. You're like, are you freaking kidding me? You're going to lose 50 pounds, but you're not going to drink your Shaco? First of all, how hard is it to drink your freaking Shaco? Put it in a blender with some peanut butter and some frozen strawberries and drink the crap, right? Like, it's not, we're literally challenging you to drink chocolate for breakfast every morning. Or if you want some strawberry or some vanilla or some, what's the other green berry crap that I can't stand? I'm a chocolate guy, okay? I don't know why anyone would pass up chocolate and peanut butter for breakfast, but hey, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. So all these people who won't drink Shaco and won't work out and then are disappointed when they don't reach their goals, right? The challenge group gets over and they're like, man, this stuff sucks. I'm going to cancel my HD because this stuff just doesn't work. And you're going, I don't know if you know whether or not it works, because I'm pretty sure you've still got T25 sitting over on the counter wrapped up in plastic. And you haven't even taken the time to put some Shaco in a blender. It takes like 5 seconds, guys, right? And you're going, of course you're not hitting your goals because you're not using what I gave you. Now, it's really, really fun to make fun of people that don't do stuff on their health and fitness journey because we're all on point on that, right? But what about our business, guys? How many of you have set goals and then you do normal power hours? Like I just mentioned, you do normal mentoring process. You don't change anything about what you're doing. And as most of you know, Einstein says to do the same thing over and over and over and expect different results is insanity, right? How many times have we been freaking insane in our business? So the first thing we have to do if we want to live a 10x life is we have to set 10x goals. So let's talk about 2 mistakes. First mistake is that people set goals that are attainable. I hear people all the time when I ask them, okay, so what's your goal? What are we going to do this year? Well, I currently have this many PS coaches, and I currently have this many diamonds, and I currently have this many people on my team. And so I think I'll set a goal for this because it looks like I've got the materials to make that happen. That's not a goal. All you did was you just defined reality. If we're just going to define reality, what's the point of having a goal session? What's the point of paying money to have a one-on-one session with me if we're just going to sit around and define reality? Can you imagine race car drivers sitting around the day before the season starts and saying, okay, now here's what we're going to do. We've got these tires and this car and this engine, so it's going to go this fast. And then you get out on the racetrack and you're 100 miles an hour slower than everyone because instead of thinking about what you wanted to do, you were just thinking about what your car could do. I have a 98 Honda Civic. It's not tricked out. There's nothing cool or fancy about it. I just hate debt. So I paid $3,000 cash for it, and I will drive it until the thing falls apart, which probably won't be until like 2040 or something like that, because Honda Civics will run forever. I don't even have tinted windows on the thing because I'm scared if I do something cool to it, some teenage kid will break into it thinking that there's actually something. I don't know why teenage kids think that Honda Civics are cool. They're like the slowest cars on the planet. Like, I have to go into fourth gear just to accelerate on the highway. I don't know why you would steal a Honda Civic and trick it out, but apparently some people watch Fast and Furious and think that's cool. So I intentionally don't do cool things to my car so that people won't break into it and steal it. Anyways, would I not be an idiot to take my untricked out Honda Civic and go out on the street and race someone's Dodge Challenger? I mean, I'd be an idiot, right? I mean, maybe if I upgraded the engine and put some turbo boost. I don't really know dude language. I don't know how to fix cars at all. So, like, you can laugh at me if you want. I don't even know how I would trick out my car. I'd probably call my buddy who lives out in the country and, like, fixes his truck and say, can you make my Honda Civic faster? Then maybe I could race it. But if I were to just go out and race my Honda Civic right now, I would get smoked by Ford Escorts. The thing is just slow, okay? But here's the thing. So many people are setting these goals way out here, these big lofty goals, like, which is what they've been taught. And other people are setting these goals that are just manageable. The problem with setting manageable goals is life was never meant to be managed. Life was meant to be led and challenged. So never, ever, ever, ever look at what you have and use that to set goals. When you set goals, completely forget about everything that you have right now and go into your heart and think, what would excite me? What would get me just freaking excited? A year ago in my business, I had 5 clients. I was doing speaking engagements that I was personally having to host because no one would let me come speak, and having about 15 people show up. Not to mention 14 of them were showing up for free because I couldn't get people to pay to come to my own event. I was hosting mastermind groups that no one was paying for. My business was an absolute failure. In fact, in 2000, what year is this? 2006? In 2014, the year that I started my business only grossed about $500. And it's not like I started it in November, guys. I started it in February. My entire first year, I grossed $500. My second year that I'm have to go do taxes for when we get done here because I'm a procrastinator. My second year, I made $46,000, but only really was full-time my last 2 months. Now, this year, I've already made more than what I made all of last year. Would you say that it would have been stupid of me 2 years ago to look at my $500 business and say, I bet in just a few years I can make 20 grand a month or more? Would that not have been ridiculous looking at what I had? Let's see, I got one person that's willing to pay for a live event. I got one person that's willing to pay for a mastermind group. I was literally giving things away just to get people in the room so that the one person who paid wouldn't feel out of place. That's how pathetic it was. It would be like if you ran a challenge group next month and you advertised for it on the internet. You did everything that Micah said to make this challenge group incredible, and then only one person bought a challenge pack, so you actually gave away 7 more challenge packs just so that you would have people in the challenge group. That would be pretty pathetic, right? Yeah, well, that was my business for an entire year. But now I work with some of the top Beachbody coaches in the entire network. Now I have training groups with 100 people a month in them. Now I literally just hired someone to take over my Facebook ad conversations because my Facebook ads are doing so good, I can't even keep up with the conversations. None of this, guys, is to brag about me. but it's to show you the potential of what happens when you dream beyond what you currently have. Some of you are thinking, I really want to go elite this year, but I've only got these 3 or 4 coaches that are even doing anything. How can I dream of going elite? It's not about what you currently have. It's about where you're willing to go and what you're willing to do. So do not set goals that are attainable. Here's the other problem, though, is we set these really, really, really big goals, and then when they don't happen, we feel like failures. We feel like we missed it. We feel like we're losers, and we never set big goals again. How many of you have set a big, we call them BHAGs. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. Big, hairy, audacious goals. How many of you ever set a big, huge, scary goal and didn't reach it? Anybody? Gosh, I hope everyone's raising their hand. Good, good, good. And how many of you, when you didn't hit that goal, it tripped you up and you thought that there was something wrong and you must have messed up something? Anybody? Why is that? Because we didn't realize one of the most valuable things that I learned from Grant Cardone, and that is this. It's never about the goal. It's not about the goal, guys. It's about setting a goal that's big enough to stretch yourself. Let me give you a perfect example. If you're sitting in the room right now and you are a 5-star coach, okay, you could probably set a goal to go 8-star by the end of the year. And that would probably be your like realistic goal, right? People are always saying, make sure you set realistic goals. Make sure you set a goal that's not going to disappoint you, right? Make it a goal that you know you can obtain. Here's the problem with that. You, in your human nature, have no idea what it takes to get from 5-star to 8-star. And so what you will do is by saying, I need to add 3 stars by the end of the year, you will probably find 3 coaches that you need to mentor, and you will try to help 3 people go diamond. Not realizing that one of those people is going to decide to move in 3 months and completely drop off the face of the planet. One of those people is going to just randomly quit Beachbody out of nowhere and decide they hate your guts. And one of those people is actually going to decide to go for diamond and help you with your goal. And so there you are at the end of the year. You were a 5-star going for 8-star, and instead you only hit 6-star. Why? Because you failed to realize how much work it actually takes. How many of you have realized by now, if you want to sell 1 challenge pack, you have to talk to at least 10 people? Am I right? Come on, I know I'm right, okay? I've talked to enough people to know that I'm not saying I'm right, but I've talked to enough people that I've heard from enough people, they've confirmed this for me, okay? You've got to talk to at least 10, right? But here's what we do when we set goals. We try to set up goals like everything's going to happen magically and perfectly. Like somehow we go from talking to 10 people to selling 1 challenge pack to mentoring 10 coaches and expecting all 10 of them to go diamond. When has that ever happened? Anybody ever had 10 people in your challenge group that all 10 stayed true and all 10 lost 20 pounds and all 10 became coaches? No, that's why we have to hit Success Club every month, right? Because you know people are going to drop off all the time. So you have to set a goal that's big and scary enough that it stretches you and causes you to push outside of your comfort zone to do something you've never done before. How many 5-stars? Can I just ask that? How many 5-stars are in the room? Can you raise your hand if you're a 5-star? I just want to get a gauge of who I'm talking to. How many 2-stars? 2 stars? How many of 2-star or higher? Can you raise your hand? There we go, a couple people. Okay, so how many are diamond or higher? I mean, obviously everyone's diamond or higher, right? I just wanted to gauge where everyone's at so I can speak your language, okay? So let's get rid of the whole 5-star, 15-star analogy because obviously no one's relating to that. Let's talk about going from diamond to 2-star. Okay. How many of you have a goal to hit 2-star this year? Several of you. Okay, good. Now I can speak your language. Sorry. I should have done that from the beginning. So if you are a diamond right now, many of you just told me you have a goal to hit 2-star diamond. And I'm going to tell you, and I apologize if I'm wrong, Micah, you can correct me later. I'm going to tell you your goal's not big enough. It's not big enough, guys. Because in your head, you have already calculated the amount of work it will take to hit 2-star. And I'm telling you right now, in your head, the calculations are always wrong. They're always wrong. We as humans are incapable of calculating how much work and how much effort something will actually take. John Maxwell says this: everything I ever accomplished in life took me twice as much work as I thought it would and twice as much time as I thought it would. Now, John Maxwell is a pretty smart guy. I would think if anybody had this figured out by now, it would be him. But even he says things always take me twice as much work as I thought they would. Why? Because we as humans always underestimate how much work it will really take. How many of you were able to hit your goal weight in the very first month of working out? Anybody? Raise your hand. One person. She's a little shy to raise her hand because she knows she's the only one. Most people, it took try after try after try after try. Am I right? Why? Because we always underestimate how much work it will really take. So you have got to set goals. Let me ask you this, guys. If you set a goal to hit 2-star and missed it and fell short and ended up only being a 1-star, would that be better? Or would it be better to shoot for 5-star and come up short at 3-star? Did I just freeze out for a second? Did I freeze out? Yes, no, yes, no, yes. Okay. But I'm back now? Yes? Okay, good. So how many of you know, let's say you shoot for 2-star. Because of our human nature, we're going to fail, guys. I'm telling you right now. You shoot for a goal, you're going to fail. So you come up short and you only hit 1-star. But what if you would have shot for 5-star and came up short and hit 3-star? Which one's better? To come short, hit 1-star, or to come short and hit 3-star? Am I still frozen?
No, I'm just going to make sure my battery
wants to play with the TV.
I have a charger.
Do I need to unplug so I can hear you for a second?
No, you're good.
I'm good, Micah?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't even hear you guys because I have my lapel mic plugged in. So if you need me, throw something at the TV, okay? Micah will pay for it. Don't worry about it. So here's what we have to do, guys. We have to set goals that will stretch us. And we need to understand this. I really, really, really need you. If you get nothing else from what I say today, I need you to understand this. Missing your goal does not make you a failure. It only makes you a human. If we allow our failures to define us, we will never see success, and there's no point in setting goals anyways. In fact, John Maxwell has a book about this. It's called Sometimes You Win, Sometimes You Learn. Anyone ever heard of the term failing forward? Yeah. It's pretty commonly known amongst all successful people that the only way to move forward is to fail. Why? Because you learn from your failures. You grow. Michael Jordan, who's the greatest athlete that ever played, said, I never, ever lost a game. I just had several opportunities to learn how I didn't win. Michael Jordan won 6 rings in 8 years. Oh, by the way, the 2 rings he didn't win were 2 years he didn't play because he decided to play baseball for the White Sox for a couple of years. I don't know what that was all about. One of the most dominating athletes to ever play the game understood that a loss was not a loss at all. It was just an opportunity to learn. Some of you are really scared to push for goals like 5-star. Because you're like, what if I fail? And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you're going to fail no matter what you push for. I mean, it's just true. We're all going to fail. So why not fail at something that's worth shooting for? You ever heard the saying, I'd rather if I shoot for this, I'll shoot for the moon so that even if I fail, I land among the stars. See, too many people are just shooting for the ceiling. And when they fail, I mean, they're at what, 6 feet tall? I don't know, but I'm like 5'9". So if I could be 6 foot tall, that'd be really cool. But I'd rather be in the freaking stars, right? Too many people are right here and they're setting their goals right here. So guess what? You go ahead and hit those subpar average goals all you want, but you're never going to be excited in life about a subpar goal, which means you're never going to get enthusiastic enough to do something different. And if you don't do something different, you won't get something different. You'll keep getting the same old thing. John Maxwell says this: 90% of people do not meet expectations. 5% of people meet expectations, and 5% of people exceed expectations. And that 5% will rule the world. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about is exceeding expectations, because the only way you're going to ever hit big goals in life is if you exceed expectations. So let's talk about a few things. You guys are all leaders, so I can give you some real talk. Is this okay, guys? Is some real talk okay? When we talk to leaders, we give real talk, okay? I ain't watering nothing down for you guys. The only way to become successful, to have that financial freedom that you really, really want. Okay? How many of you are going on dream vacations at Diamond? Not very many people. That's why we need to get you to 5-star. We need to get you to 10-star. We need to get you to 15-star. Why? Because you deserve it. Your family deserves it. Your community deserves it. Okay? Don't you dare settle for some little goal. You got me? When we're done here, you guys are going to write down some new big goals, okay? But the only way you're going to get to those places is exceed expectations. So let's talk about a few categories here. Everyone in the Beachbody community says this: hit Success Club every single month. Why? Because that's how you build a strong business and make sure you have some volume coming in and new customers, which eventually turn into coaches. So let's think about what John Maxwell said, the 90 and the 5 and the 5, okay? 90% of people do not meet expectations. So would you guys agree that probably 90% of Beachbody coaches are not hitting Success Club? Would you agree? I would agree. I see the Success Club reports from lots of teams, and I would agree that the people that are on the Success Club chart, not even close to how many coaches are on the team, right? 5% meet expectations. In other words, 5% of people hit Success Club 5. Would you guys agree? But are you ready for it? 5% exceed expectations. And remember what John Maxwell said, those are the 5% that will rule the world. I have yet to find a top coach who hit Success Club 5. Why? Because you don't become a top coach hitting Success Club 5. You don't rule the world meeting expectations. You rule the world exceeding expectations. When Beachbody says Success Club 5 is a minimum, why in the world would you ever shoot for a minimum? So the point of what I'm saying is, if you really want to hit 10x goals, if you want to 10x your business in your life, please, please, please do not settle for Success Club 5. Now, if you want to tell your coaches to push for Success Club 5, that's a great thing to tell new coaches, right? because that is a stretch for new coaches. But you guys, in my opinion, need to be hitting at least Success Club 10. I really, really think you should be writing notes right now. I really think that every single one of you, if you are not already, needs to make Success Club 10 a priority. Because that's the only way you're going to hit big goals. Again, if you just want to meet expectations, that's fine. Hit Success Club 5 for the rest of your life. I know lots of people that have been Diamond for 4 years now that hit Success Club 5 every single month. They're still Diamond after 4 years. That's not where any of you want to be, is it? Okay. The next thing I want to talk to you about is exceeding expectations in recruiting. Recruiting. Do you want to build a big business? Do you want to go to a new level? You have got to recruit coaches. And what I've seen from a lot of people who get stuck at Diamond is this. They don't recruit enough coaches to make up for the people that are just going to fall off, guys. And I don't say that in a mean way, but people are going to fall off. That's life, right? Just like people fall off of HD every month. You're going to have coaches fall off. And I always hear people saying this, Josh, I can't rank advance because I can't get other people on board. I can't get them to be motivated. I can't get them to sell challenge packs. I can't get them to care about Emerald. Your goals should never, ever, ever depend on them. If you do your part and you move your business forward, I promise you this, there will always be someone that wants to go with you. I tell people this in my Art of Recruiting class on day 1. People are always complaining, I don't have any coaches that want to work the business. And I always say this, your problem is not that you don't have anyone that wants to work the business. Your problem is you just don't have enough people. Because if you get more people, I promise you, someone will want to work the business. Can I tell you guys why Micah is a 15-star coach? And I've only talked with her like once, so maybe I'm being a little arrogant to assume that I know why. Me and Micah were talking a few weeks ago, and she tells me she reads 2 books a month. She also told me that she onboards, if I remember right, 10 to 15 coaches a month. Do you know why Micah is at the level of success she's at? Now, don't get me wrong. You guys are all a part of it, okay? I don't want to discount what you guys mean to her and what you mean to her business. But I promise you this. Micah doesn't read books and doesn't recruit coaches, and none of you are even here. You guys are all sitting at home right now. If Micah doesn't own her part, you guys are all sitting at home right now. I don't know if you're like me in Tulsa, Oklahoma, or maybe, I don't know where you guys live. Maybe, hopefully you live somewhere cooler than Tulsa, Oklahoma. Maybe you're at a day job right now with a boss on a Friday. It's Friday, isn't it? See, I don't even know what day of the week it is. You're at work right now on a Friday with a boss that's trying to get you to focus and trying to get you to do something. And you're like, dude, it's Friday. I'm checked out. I don't even want to be here today. Some of you are at home with kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. But how many of you know a retreat in Utah for a weekend is really nice when you have kids and you don't have to be around those kids for a few days? That can be very nice. But here's the thing, guys. If Micah does not own her part, none of you are even here. If you want to build a big team, you want to build a successful team, you have to do your part first. Leadership starts with leading yourself. It does not happen when you look at everyone else and say, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you motivated? Why aren't you excited? Jim Collins, who wrote Good to Great, says that level 5 leaders are always looking out the window for someone to give the rewards to and looking in the mirror for someone to give the blame to. If your business is not where you want it to be, It's not their fault. It's only yours. I believe that's the only reason I'm here today, guys. That first year when my business only made $500, I didn't look out the window and say, what is wrong with them? Why don't they want to pay for me? Why don't they want to be in my groups? I looked in the mirror and said, how much more do you need to grow? And I kept growing and I kept growing. And even today, anything that goes wrong in my business, I still look in the mirror and say, how do you need to grow? You have got to own your own goals and not depend on other people. In fact, I would say that true leadership is when you're not using others to reach their goals, but when you're helping them to reach their goals. You help enough other people reach their goals, and your goals will happen just fine. But you still got to take care of your goals. When you start thinking that other people need to help you with your goals, that's when we go into manipulation mode. And that's a really bad thing, guys. When we start asking questions like, who wants to help me go 5-star? Who wants to help me go elite? Instead of, how can I help you go diamond? See the difference there? You help enough people, your goals will happen. So the last thing that I want to mention to you guys is going 10x on your mission. I'm very, 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 very big on having a mission statement. If you don't have a mission statement, I want to encourage you, take some time and write one. A mission statement is simply this: what I want to do for the world. Now, I believe it's very important to also have a why. We all know it's important to have a why, right? You probably wouldn't have made it to this room this weekend if you didn't have a very good focus on your why. Your why is what you want to do for you, right? In other words, why do I need this to happen? Why do I need this to work? We talk about that a lot on our health journey. But our mission is, what do I want to do for the world? My mission simply says this: I want to equip and empower people to live out their legacy. Every single day when I wake up, now, I have number goals. I have lots of number goals. I have a number goal for how much money I want to make this year. I have a number goal for how many people I want to retire from their jobs this year. I have a number goal of how many employees I want to hire for my business this year. I have lots and lots and lots of number goals because I believe in number goals. I believe in 10x number goals. But I believe that the only way to properly hit those goals is to live according to your mission and to stay true to the change you want to see in the world. You see, I have number goals, but every single time I get on a call to speak with you guys, all of my goals are taken out and put aside. And I'm thinking about, how can I equip and empower you? Every single time I have a coaching consultation with someone, my number goals are thrown aside, and I'm thinking, how can I equip and empower you? Every single time I get on a call with someone, I'm no longer thinking about, okay, I want to make this much money this year. I want to hit this many training groups this year. I want to sell this many spots in this. All of that is just completely gone. And I'm 100% honing in on, how do I help you? So here's the thing. I need you to understand, in the process of reaching for 10x goals, in the process of chasing big, huge dreams, never lose sight of the fact that the only valid way to get there is by helping people. And that's why I love working with Beachbody, because I know that you would not be here unless you had a passion and a desire to help people. Am I right? Shake your head if you care about people. And that's what it's all about, guys. Why do we want to hit 5-star this year? Because 5-star shows that you helped 5 other people make it to this retreat next year. Shows that you, well, I don't know if Micah will open it up to all of your downlines. That may turn into a very expensive trip. It shows that you helped 5 other people get started on building their life by design. It shows that you are helping people. You see, some people shy away from number goals. They're like, I don't want to do all that number stuff. That like gets me weird. And then I forget about my mission and then I get fake. Well, don't get fake. Don't lose sight of your mission. Grant Cardone says this: people are always saying I can have this or this. I can be a good parent or a successful business person. How many times have you thought that? How many times have you had somewhere in the back of your head trying to tell you, don't try to be too successful because then you won't be a good spouse. Then you won't be a good mom. Then you won't be a good person. If you're a human being, I'm sure you've heard this somewhere in the back of your head at some point. Why can't we be both? Why can't you be a successful person and a successful spouse and a successful parent and a successful, I don't know, volunteer / coach / volunteer at your church or wherever it is why can't we have and? Do you really think that God in his infinite power is so limited that he created you to only be good at one thing in your entire life? You really think that? I mean, I don't even know how many of you believe in God. Whatever you do believe in, okay? I'm not trying to preach to anybody. Whatever you do believe in, do you really think that in this beautiful life that we live, on this incredible planet, freaking stars and galaxies, guys, that we as humans are so limited that we can be good at one thing? I would call that a lack mentality. And I believe that the only way to be successful is to have an abundance mentality. And to realize if you've got something on your heart that you want to do, then you've got everything you need on the inside to do that. You want to be a successful parent and a successful business person and a successful volunteer? I promise you, you can do it. And I'll tell you this, from seeing success in my business, it's made it a whole lot easier, some ways harder, but a whole lot easier to be the dad that I wanted to be. 2 years ago, my kids weren't getting cool Christmas presents. 2 years ago, our budget for Christmas for all 3 kids was $100. For all 3 kids. That means each kid was getting $33.33 spent on them, and there was like a penny left over at the end. $33, guys. Is that a Christmas worth getting excited about? Not really. It wasn't exciting for me. I hated it. I hated trying to figure out how am I going to get my kid something that he wants for $33. Now, it's not saying my kids were ungrateful, because they weren't. My kids are amazing. But now, I mean, both of my kids had birthdays this week, and they both got really spoiled. And they have a party tomorrow, and I hired an assistant this week, and I'm going to have to go do taxes today and probably pay some money. And here's the beauty of it. I'm not worried about any of it because I know it's all taken care of, because I've worked my butt off hard enough to get to a place that money is no longer something I worry about. To be honest, it's not even really something I think about, other than thinking about where I want to invest it and what I want to do with it. That is the beauty of living by your mission, helping enough people. Zig Ziglar says this: you can have anything you want in life if you'll just help enough other people get what they want. Guys, I've been poor my entire life. Grew up, my dad was a preacher. My grandpa was a preacher. My uncles were preachers. We have never really known what money was, okay? Like, money is just not something we've ever had. So to now experience what financial freedom looks like, it's incredible. And I can't imagine what life would have been like if I wouldn't have decided I can be a good dad and a successful business person. I can help people outside of my house and people inside my house. I can change the world and make a difference and help other people and make a lot of money. Stop using the word or. Always use the word and. Anytime I hear the word or come out of one of my clients' mouth, I always know they're about to say something stupid. Because or is never okay. That is not an abundance mentality, and using the word or will never get you anywhere in life. Using the word or will always have you choosing between two things that are important to you. But why in the world would you choose between two things that are important to you? Why would you not choose both? And that's what you can do if you decide you're going to do it. But you have to make that decision, guys, to set bigger goals than you've ever set, to exceed expectations. If Micah challenges you guys to do something, go above and beyond the challenge. And then to live by your mission of helping people every single day. And next year, maybe I'll be speaking for your retreat. How many of you would love to put on your own retreat? Come on, raise your hand. I'm getting kind of jealous of all of my clients who put on these retreats, Micah. Sometime in the next year, I'm going to have a client retreat, and I'm going to fly all my clients out somewhere really cool. And I don't know, we're going to hang out for a weekend, and maybe we'll have John Maxwell come speak or something like that. I don't know. I'm really jealous of you Beachbody coaches because you're always having all these cool trips, man. You guys are spoiled rotten, but I love it. I love it. I love what you guys do in the world. I love what you do for other people. So please, please, please keep doing it and do it more than you've ever done it before. Micah, thank you so much for letting me speak to your team. I appreciate it so much. I have a few minutes. I'm going to unplug my lapel so I can actually hear you. If you guys want to ask questions, you can, or if you have a schedule that you need to get on to other stuff, that's fine too, whatever you need to do. Does anyone have any questions? I mean, no one ever actually has questions, but I like to be kind and say that if they want to, they can. Pretty clear. That's all right. Have an awesome retreat, guys.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you.
We'll chat with you Monday, okay?
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.